Parashat Tetze summary. During war, if a soldier saw among the captives a woman whom he wished to marry, she must undergo the following process. She must shave off all of her hair, let her nails grow long, change into plain clothes, and cry over her parents for a month. If he still wants to marry her and she agrees to become Jewish, Betin makes her a Giorit, a convert, and she is like any other Jew. The husband may not sell her or treat her badly. If a man has two wives and likes one more than the other, if the less liked one has a male child first, since he is the Bechor, the firstborn, he must give him the double portion that a Bechor receives, and cannot give it to the child of the wife he likes more. If within the 3 months after a boy becoming 13 he hangs around bad people, steals money from his parents, binds with it meat, eats it half raw in front of his parents, and washes it down with wine, he is called the Ben Sorer Umore. If he doesn't change his ways, his parents may bring him to Bedin of 3 judges, and they give him malkut, lashes. If he repeats his behavior, his parents bring him to the Bedin of 23 judges. If certain conditions are fulfilled, he is put to death. Hashem says it is better he dies now for doing lower level crimes than to continue and be put to death for big sins. If a person is put to death by Bedin, he is hung afterwards. He must be taken down that same day and buried. When one finds an object that a Jew lost, he is required to return it if it is worth at least a pruta and has a siman, an identifying mark. Even if the person lost the object many times, it must still be returned. If an animal is struggling under its load, you must stop and help the owner unload the animal. Even if he doesn't help you, you must unload the animal. If he needs help loading the animal, you also must help, but only if the owner does it with you. A man may not wear clothing or jewelry usually worn by a woman, and reverse. If a person sees a kosher wild bird sitting on its nest in an unowned area, there's a special mitzvah called shiluach haken, to chase away the mother bird and to take the eggs or young birds. One fulfills the mitzvah even if he puts them back, as long as he first lifted them up properly. One must build a ma'akeh, a fence on a roof or porch which people use. One may not plow or pull a vehicle using 2 different species of animals. One may not wear sha'atnez, garments made from a mixture of wool and linen. The Torah continues with people we may not marry, including people from outside nations that wanted to become gerim. If a man from Ammon or Moab wants to become a ger, a convert, we do not accept him. A man or woman from Mitzrayim or Edom may become a convert in the 3rd generation from the time of Bnei Israel were in the desert. All other nations are able to become gerim as long as they properly accept the Torah and mitzvot. It is a mitzvah to lend money to Jews. When lending, one cannot charge or pay ribit, interest. To ensure repayment, the lender may take a collateral, but he may not go and take it forcibly. The collateral cannot be something the person needs to prepare his food. If the person is poor and needs the collateral back at night, for example, a blanket, you must return the collateral to him each night. If a person promises to bring a korban, he should not delay. He must bring it within a shalosh regalim cycle, the 3 major holidays beginning with Pesach. Remember what Hashem did to Miriam for speaking Lashon Hara against Moshe. Although she had good intentions, she was punished with sarat. How much more so if someone speaks with bad intentions? A worker should be paid the same day that he does the work, unless agreed upon differently. When harvesting a field, if 1 or 2 bundles are forgotten, we call this shikecha, they are to be left for the poor. Similarly, some olives on the tree and grape clusters not fully developed also are left for the poor. If a person is chayav malkut, lashes from Bet Din, he can get up to 39 lashes depending on his physical condition. During the malkut, he is encouraged to do teshuvah. If a married man dies childless, his brother has a mitzvah to perform yibum, to marry the niftar's wife. The child born is a nechama, a comfort for the niftar. If the brother doesn't want to marry his brother's widow, they go to Bedin where the widow performs chalitza by taking off the brother's shoe, spitting on the floor in front of him and proclaiming, "This is what happens to one who doesn't want to build his brother's family." After this, she is free to marry. Nowadays, we only do chalitza and not yibum. When doing business, it is very important to be honest. In the marketplace, one must ensure that all weights are accurate. Lastly, we must remember Amalek's attack on us when we came out of Egypt. When we are settling in Eretz Yisrael, they must be wiped out, for they try to undermine Hashem's presence in the world and minimize the world's awe of Klal Yisrael.